let's get back to the topic of Gamma World. Gamma World, the cover that I showed you there. This is the old cover of the original TSR role playing game. It was basically their science fiction Dungeons and Dragons. I didn't play D&D, but I actually had that because I was interested in science fiction. I vastly preferred Mark Miller's Traveler, but and I never actually played the game. I actually read more rules than I play games, especially when it comes to board games, and definitely when it comes to role playing games. I never do any role playing, but I do like reading the role playing manuals for some reason. Don't ask me why. But the interesting thing is, Gamma World is based on the idea of a post apocalyptic world. So all these mutants and radiation. But I thought it was funny that this is what happens to a world that is ruled by gammas. Because gammas are totally incapable, despite their ambition, despite their intelligence, they're totally incapable of leading groups. They can't do it. It's not in their skill set. And that's one of the things that is so frustrating about dealing with gammas, is because they care very much about the hierarchy. And one of the terms, that the derogatory terms that we use to address gammas is we call them secret kings, because they identify very powerfully with the romantic notion of the secret king, the royal prince who's been hidden away, and nobody knows that he's the true and rightful king, and he grows up, and finally his rightful place, his true and rightful place at the head of the kingdom is recognized, and he becomes the top number one alpha, known as the king. For no reason, without any ability whatsoever, without actually accomplishing anything, just by right. And so one of the things that distinguishes the gamma from those who are higher in the deltas and the bravos and so forth, is that they genuinely believe that they should be in charge. They genuinely believe that everybody should listen to them. But the funny thing, at the same time, is that they actively avoid responsibility. So you see this time and time and time again. I see this all the time when people want to volunteer. They send some of you who have, volunteered to get involved with some of our projects, are probably a little puzzled at the way that I and the other guys that work with me very seldom respond actively when we get these enthusiastic messages about how, I would just love to work with you and help you and this sort of thing. And what's funny is that we have a very highly tuned ability to detect when it's a gamma who is getting in touch with us and wants to help us. Because the more enthusiastic they are, the more they write about all the wonderful things that they can offer, and especially the more they tell us what we should be doing, the less they do. They do nothing. And Organic Bear has it right. I've tried leading volunteers. 99% of people are useless. I know, that's what's amazing. You get this long email about how these people really, just came across you, really love what you're doing, think it's so important, really want to help make it happen, really want to, you know, get involved, and they've got all these great ideas. And you say, great, you want to volunteer? Here, do this. Go look up the contact details for these 20 people. That's what we need you to do. And seriously, 9 times out of 10, you know what the response is? They will immediately come up with excuses for why they can't do that, why that doesn't make sense, why it would be better to do it in a different way. I mean, it's just amazing. They never, ever accept any actual responsibility to do anything. Stupid Rock Show, you're wrong. First of all, people write emails differently than they talk. I have gotten, I wouldn't say dozens of emails like that, but I would say well over 20 that are more or less like that. One of the ways that it's not always somebody who's just come across it, but one way that you can tend to identify gammas is they love walls of text. When they get angry, especially, you will get this absolute wall of text every single damn time. It's hilarious. Delawarean, your detection is bad. I deal with a lot of people, period. There's 1,000 people watching right now. And so, let's see. Dr. Jeep says, if I wrote emails the way I talked, do you think it was copy pasta from Catcher in the Rye? Yeah, Catcher in the Rye is a beautiful example of a gamma. You see a lot of gammas in literature. One of the best places that you can learn about gamma is from reading literature, because so much of it is written by gammas.